You're about to enter the podcast where no topic is safe and no opinion is sacred.
Hi, I'm Nick,
I'm Catalin.
where we tackle 5 topics.
That will probably end in one giant mess.
So whether you're here for some laughs, heated debates, or just to hear us go off on some random tangents,
Then buckle up, grab a drink, and remember, trigger warning officially activated. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Trigger Warning Everything, sponsored by Gremlin Industries, inventors of the Doom Scroll Pro, an app that curates the most unsettling news in real time. Hey, Nick.
Adeline.
So we met through D&D, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything basically about it.
True. So what then is your favorite or best D&D character that you've created?
Favorite or best? Those are two totally different things.
You pick.
Actually, they might all be the same.
Ugh.
The favorite character I ever made is a character very near and dear to my heart. Dowin Arahothel, Paladin of Vengeance.
Mhm.
Of course, he's a paladin.
Of course.
Very young, stoic, and yeah. He had a brother, Warlock. Pretty cool. They didn't get along very well.
So why is he your favorite? Like, what is it about him?
I don't know. So early on when I started playing, my DM at the time told me to make playlists for my character, something I've adopted myself. And I had another character at the time. I liked my other character, and honestly, I liked his playlist better. But the playlist that I made for Dowin just was him. It brought him alive for me. And there was actually a saying in that game, WWDD. What would Dowin do?
What?
He wasn't your do no evil paladin. In fact, his whole party stole one time. And when the queen asked him, "Did you steal anything?" he said no. He didn't steal anything, and he swore he wouldn't. He was just a. I love him, still do. I've actually had spin-off characters of him.
Spin-off characters?
Mm-hmm. Represent a lot of what Dowin was, but with differences. Mainly like to drink a lot. More like me than Dowin was. But yeah, he would have to be my favorite. Favorite to play, favorite to talk about, favorite to just be. And yeah. What about you?
That one's really a difficult question for me.
Oh, you
Because
put me on
really,
the spot like that.
I did, but really I have two.
Can I have two?
If you want to have two.
Okay, I have two then.
Okay, who's the other one?
Well, it's not really a character though.
Not a character.
No, an NPC actually.
Okay.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
An
A little.
NPC that wasn't supposed to be important.
She was not supposed to be, but everybody loved her, and I like her now too. Her name's Finna, and she's a druid, tiefling, which
No,
I think
she's
you know.
not. She's not a tiefling.
Yeah, I know she's not a tiefling. Why would I say that? I was testing you. You passed. Tabaxi.
I mean, it's close. They both start with a T.
Yeah, they both start with a T.
But why? Like, what makes her special?
I can't tell you that. Maybe just the interaction the players have with her. And she's real high strung, and that is kind of fun.
It is.
Yeah. Anyways,
Well,
I didn't mean to interject on your time here.
no, that's fine. Um, and actually, one of my favorite characters is very good friends with her.
Oh,
Yes, Carissa.
I would have bet $100 you'd have said that name.
uh, she is special because she's the first D&D character that I created.
Yep.
She made me fall in love more with playing a druid, and she is a lot like me. Very she thinks but she doesn't. Like, some of her actions are impulse, some of her actions are calculated. But I mean, the only thing that I would have changed about her is I would have made her a full wood elf instead of just a half wood elf.
Why is that?
Um, it's gonna sound dumb, but mostly lifespan,
Okay.
because half elves don't live as long because of their human half. They don't live as long as full elves.
So, why are half wood elves? Why does the half have to be a human? Like, is there such thing as a half wood elf that's half tiefling?
I suppose there could be, but in traditional D&D, it's the half races are half human, and
I'm gonna have to
I don't
fix
know
that.
why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My second.
One question about that one. Just
Okay.
one.
You sure?
I happen to know Carissa fairly well.
I
I think.
would hope so.
But I want to talk about real quick her first game, where
Her
she was
first
born
game.
at. Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe it was her second. Something just burns in my mind about roar, 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 and then berries all over her mouth.
She was not too excited about what was going on, and she just didn't she didn't like where the situation was going, and she had already wild shaped and didn't feel like her getting involved would help with anything. So she just kind of sat down and next to a berry bush and decided to eat berries and watch the show.
So, if I recall, that was your first game you ever played with me. You did play one other one before that, but it was more of just practice for me. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes,
What
it
made you
was.
stick around? Because that was not very fun for anybody, I don't think, except for who it was fun for.
Because by that time I liked my character. I liked the game. And after this session, talking to you and other people, saying how they were reassuring me that that's not normal. That doesn't always happen. And just continued to play just because I was having fun with it. Even
Like a
though,
fiend.
yeah, somewhat like that. In fact, one of my friends that I work with, shortly after I think that session, I had kind of told him what had happened and how I was gonna keep playing, and he's like, "Dude, you're addicted." I'm like, "Well, maybe." He's like, "No, you are."
Oh, there's worse addictions, I think.
I agree.
And your second character.
A little red tiefling.
Oh.
um she is near and dear to me because unlike most characters that you make where you write their backstory, um I got to live it because of that channel that you created, the RP only.
It's hard to say I created that.
Well, you were the one that created the channel.
You're the one that mastered it.
Well, it is mine now. But I don't have to, with her, I don't have to think about what she would do, what she would say, how she would react. Because of that RP channel, I already know. I I have made a playlist for her but I don't have to listen to it because I already know her mindset. And she's the one character that I consider like my baby because I've watched her go from this naive little tiefling to the Althea now who has taken down with the help of your character, Doan.
That happens to be an offshoot of Dallin Arahothel. Completely different
Which,
by now.
yes.
For the
I
better.
started off with the same name,
Huh,
but she
you're
changed
right.
it.
Yeah.
She changed it. But she's completely different from when we started that RP channel. She's grown. She's not scared. And I love that about her. I could put her into any one shot, any situation, and I would know exactly what she would do.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's real fun when you have a character who you just enjoy to play, and just not you, but literally your alternate personality.
Yes. When we first started that RP channel, we were doing voice. And there were like 2 or 3 sessions in a row where we did voice. And I use a different voice with her. I don't use my own voice. I change it.
Oh, you do?
Well, I went to work one day and I found it very difficult. I had to think about talking in my own voice instead of talking in her voice.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Don't you have another character that does a voice?
I have a couple different ones.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I have Yaslana.
Yes, you do. I wasn't thinking about her.
Ah, you were thinking about my other druid.
No.
No?
I was thinking about the one that speaks in a better British dialect than, well, British people. According to them.
According to them. Alice. She she is a fun character. I actually based her off of Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
So she is a paladin, and she actually has a Vorpal sword as her weapon. And
Badass.
yeah, she's fun. I'm still getting to know her because she is a fairly new character for me.
What? Three sessions, something like that?
Yeah, 3 sessions.
And from what I've heard, I'm not in that game. For what I've heard of it and from the other players, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, you did play with her in a one shot.
I did. In fact, I played with her from the first character I ever made. Second, I didn't think about him actually when I start thinking about my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Nathaniel. He is your very traditional, amazing bard. And he has a full name. Sir Nathaniel Dorian Alvalin Silvermoon the Fourth.
Why so many?
Well, he actually is only Nathaniel Silvermoon, but he wants to feel important. So he kind of just added the rest and hope nobody notices.
I hope nobody questions.
Yeah, and nobody really has. I mean, questioning him is kind of hard because, well, he's an eloquence bard. And lying, persuading is kind of his specialty, along with playing a lute. But he doesn't drink, not a drop.
Another character that doesn't drink.
Oh, it's for a totally different reason.
Ah.
I don't want to go into the whole story about that. But
Okay.
he was one of my first characters I ever made, and he is actually, yeah, very very important to me.
Yep. Alice does have a little bit of a soft spot for him.
He does for her too. Anybody who protects him.
Well, being a paladin, she does feel the need to protect those who can't. So And she's actually the first paladin that I ever played.
Here, you do a damn good job.
Well, I take inspiration from you.
Oh, there's your first mistake.
Nah, you play good paladins.
I think they're versatile characters. They're great in RP, great in combat. I
Mhm.
prefer the RP.
I do too, which is why I like our RP channel
Yeah,
evermore.
I don't blame you there. I have a lot of fun. I've been actually kind of swamped at work lately. I've been meaning to get on there and do what we need to get done,
Yeah.
but it's actually been a pretty busy time for me for whatever reason here lately,
Hmm.
which is kind of odd, but it's what it is.
Yeah. Odd. Why?
Oh, well, about 6 months ago it'd have been normal, but for about the last 3 months I've been working 8 to 12 hour days, and
Mm-hmm.
here lately I've been working 10 to 14, but it's summertime and it's hot and I'm just tired. I guess I ain't used to working long hours anymore.
Hmm. I'm
Oh no, the
definitely not.
horror.
Working overtime kills me when I sign up for it. I'm usually not worth much the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to fall asleep after working like 16 hours.
Oh, speak for yourself.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah. My head is the pillow and it's lights out.
No, because well, when you're only when you're used to working only 8 hours a day, working a double, going straight through 16 hours, you end up hitting your second wind. Like when you're like 3 or 4 hours from being done. So by the time you get home, I can't sleep. So I have to find something to do for an hour or so before I can actually be tired and want to go to bed.
You want the oldest trick of all time to fall asleep?
I would love that.
Lay down in your bed. Cover up with your blankets or whatever. I sleep with blankets. I have to fall asleep with a blanket on.
I do too.
Close your eyes. It's important to close your eyes
Okay.
and count.
Count what?
Well, count numbers. 1, 2, 3. Just keep going. Don't stop. Not out loud, in your head.
Okay.
Eventually, you'll
And
start to hear yourself skipping numbers, forgetting where you're at, and that's
mm-hmm.
because you're falling asleep, micro falling asleep, or whatever it's called. And eventually, you'll be out.
Huh. I might have to try that next time
Don't do it right now, though.
Well, no. No.
Or if you have a really nice recliner, turn a movie on. It works for me.
What? I don't have a recliner, but okay.
That might just be a dad curse, though.
It's highly possible because I'm pretty sure my dad does that all the time.
Yeah.
No, my dad, we would Sundays, my dad and I would sit and watch football. And
Great sport.
9 times out of 10, halfway through a game, didn't matter if it was like the first game, last game, any of the games in between, he would fall asleep. I'm like, I'm still watching football, and he's asleep. I thought we were watching football, Dad.
Some of the best sleep I ever has during a movie. Those 30, 45-minute times you fall asleep in a recliner, I'm telling you. Talk about second wind.
Yeah.
It's either a second wind or you're just drained of all energy. There's no in between. Yeah.
Can you
Crazy.
fall asleep anywhere, or does it have to be in your bed?
Oh, I'm prior
in the
military, Catalan. I can sleep anywhere.
recliner?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I can sleep almost anywhere. I know of one place that I cannot fall asleep.
Where's that?
On an airplane.
I have.
I can't. It's the only
I don't
place
like.
that I can't fall asleep.
Well, I guess I could. I can. I have trouble falling asleep in a car.
I can fall asleep in a car, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, I can, but
it's something about the seats, I think, in an airplane. They're just not comfortable.
Or is it because you're extremely high off the face of the earth and, we're short for a reason, right?
I'm short.
For a girl, yeah. For a guy, I ain't doing much better.
I'm just short, period.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm really tall for a girl, like WNBA tall, I think. Probably not. So, yeah, anywhere. I've flown to South Korea. That's like a 28, 20, 30-hour flight.
Fuck.
Yeah. Tell me, if you can't fall asleep during that.
Yeah,
again,
next time I fly to Korea, I'll let you know.
Hey, take me with you. I want to go back. Remember, count.
Count, okay.
Yeah, and hope to God there's not some kid screaming in the back seat.
Oh, God.
Movie style. Only time.
Screaming
Only
and
time.
kicking the seat?
They weren't kicking the seat, but they were screaming.
We
had TVs in the seat, though. So everyone had their own
Yeah.
TV? That's pretty cool. I felt like it was first class.
I have not flown internationally.
Oh, well. That's actually, I think, pretty normal.
I think on international flights, having the TV in the seat is.
Oh, no. I'm saying not flying internationally. There's a lot of people that have been international.
Yeah.
I think I've been to more countries than I have states.
I've been to quite a few states.
I mean, I've been to a few, too.
More if you count driving through them.
Oh, definitely. You got to.
Because I drove from West Coast to East Coast and back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Texas fucking sucks.
Texas?
Yes.
Yeah. Literally, anywhere in the country. If you're at the bottom of Texas, anywhere in the country, you're halfway there when you get out of Texas.
Yes. Takes you like 2.5, 3 days to get out of Texas.
For a girl, maybe.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, come on. It's all about bladder control.
No.
Yes. It doesn't take 3 days to drive through Texas, unless you get lost.
Have you seen me play video games?
Touche.
That's what GPS is for.
Yeah, but see, they don't have those in video games.
No,
Except some do have the little yellow lines that tell you where to go. I like those. But,
yes.
Yeah.
The mini maps, I don't look at mini maps.
No, there has to be a line telling you where to go.
Yes, it has to be. And the little ping that you can see in the distance, that doesn't help me at all.
Oh, I'm pretty good with that sometimes.
No. They have to direct me like turn by turn.
Now.
Yes.
GPS. You speak of GPS. Do you use the GPS a lot, right? I do too.
Every time I drive.
GPS. Yes, everywhere I go, except to work and at home. It's the only time I don't use my GPS.
I turn it on because, well, where I live, traffic, my GPS will reroute me if there's like accidents or construction, anything like that. So I keep it on because of that, and it became habit for me. Just anytime I get in the car, I put in wherever I'm going.
No idea about traffic till you come out here, man. It's so bad. But anyways, just kidding.
What?
Oh yeah. Like there's a lot of traffic when you're 15 cars behind the stoplight. That's packed. Yeah.
15?
Yes.
15.
Yes.
How about you're at a green light and you can't go through the intersection because the stoplight in front of you is in front of that one is red?
Well, see, there's benefits to, not living in a great big city. A lot of benefits, mainly Indian dancing and fires. Enough said. But with your GPS, do you have it talk to you?
No, that's annoying.
No? You don't like it telling you when to turn left?
No. No.
I don't either.
No, because it interrupts my music.
The Lord music,
Yes.
Can't have that being interrupted.
Nope.
What should we ever do? People I work with.
Mhm.
People I work with. One guy in particular gave me a nickname.
Oh no.
The Back Road Trucker.
The back road trucker.
Yeah.
Why?
I still get lost with the GPS. And so I drive a big truck, right?
Hmm.
And at least I work 5 days a week normally. At
Hmm.
least 3 of those days, I'm driving down some back road I probably shouldn't be down. I mean, I get through it, no problem, no problem. You know, it's been a little sketchy sometimes, but I've made it. One time I was on a back road and a combine decided to come down that back road. That was sketchy.
Oh
We're both
God.
fine. We're both fine. There was no problem at all. A little bit nervous, but you know, we waved at each other and tipped our hats. Did a hell of a job. But yeah, I get yeah.
So
I
you
don't know
get
why they
lost.
decided to give me a CDL. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I have a nickname at work too.
Yeah?
Yes. I am called by all of the bike officers, no matter what shift they are on. They all call me Squirrel.
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 Hey, what's that over there?
No, 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 no. So
No?
you've seen the movie Up. Yeah?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
Okay. The dog. He'll be talking and then all of a sudden squirrel.
Oh, well that's what I was kind of meaning, you know.
No, I am the squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
am the
Get
distraction.
distracted really. Oh.
No, no.
Oh. Wow. Wow. Okay, okay. I have known that for a while, and it now finally just clicked for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That nobody calls me by my name or even my unit number. They call me Squirrel. Hey Squirrel, how's it going? What's up, Squirrel? Yeah. So much so that even if they do call me by my name, I look at them, I look around, I'm like, who just used my name? It's weird.
Squirrel.
Mhm.
For the longest time, I just thought you got distracted easily,
I mean, I do that too.
but it has nothing to do with the name.
No.
It's the other way around.
Yep.
Good
And I guess
job,
that's
Nick.
what
That's a win.
I guess that's what happens when you are one of two female bike officers on property.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
You like being called Squirrel?
I wasn't sure about it at first, but I like it now.
Has it transcended your work environment? That probably wasn't the right way to word that, but we all know I suck at wording.
Not really, no. I mean, there are a few people that know that, but nobody, like the ones that do, don't really use it that often.
Okay,
Mostly a work thing.
mostly a work thing.
Hmm.
That's fun. Work
It is.
nicknames are fun.
They are.
Most people I worked with, I have their name saved as something it's definitely not.
Yeah.
One of them's named Old Man Scale Guy. Another one's not Kevin Hart. Well, I mean, he's not Kevin Hart. In fact, he's so much not Kevin Hart, he's a tall white dude.
Oh my God.
When I say tall, he's tall, like 6'2",
Oh,
6'3",
jeez.
maybe even 4. I don't know. Big
I've
dude.
given people nicknames at work. One
Yeah,
of,
they stick.
yeah, yes, because now I have other people calling them that.
Oh yeah.
One is I call him Twice because he has two, like his first and middle name are both first names,
Yeah.
and he uses them interchangeably. And so rather than try and decide which name to use, I just
Wait,
decided, well, it's Twice.
he has two first names.
Well,
I get
his
that.
his
Two
his
first
middle
names.
name is a first name, but
Sure.
he sometimes goes by his middle name, sometimes he goes by his first name. So I'm like, I don't know which one to call him. So yeah, it's just twice.
But he goes by
And
both of them.
he does. Yep.
See, that's funny, and that makes a good nickname right there.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
also an anime reference.
oh well, that is my forte.
Yes.
I love me some anime.
Mm. So then
You want to talk about it?
you know where that's from then.
Oh, of course I know where that's from. Are
Uh-huh.
you gonna quiz me on anime?
Maybe.
Yeah, it comes from the anime where they fly and just do kung fu in the sky and on the ground. They got big hair. I can't remember the name of it. Am I wrong?
I mean, no, but that's
Of course
almost
not,
all of
because I
them.
know my anime.
That's almost all of them.
Oh my goodness, they're all so completely different. How can you
They
say
are.
almost all animes are the same? How can you
I
say
did
that?
not say
It's such
that.
an amazing genre.
It is. Believe me, I know.
Yeah, yeah, I do too.
But and he watches anime too. Like a lot of our discussions are about different shows that we've watched and
Yeah.
recommending shows to watch, and so he knows the anime, he knows the reference, and he's fine with it.
Well, that's good. That's good. Everyone needs a good anime in their life.
I agree.
Yeah. Speaking
So
of
what about you?
anime,
What's
what's your
your
favorite anime? Huh?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Jinx.
Oh,
I
fuck.
think that
All
means you
right.
owe me a Coke.
I do.
Okay.
All right.
What's your favorite anime?
Favorite anime.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy. I mean, I know there's a lot of them, and they all are completely different.
Um, well, let's see. I do like a good isekai.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, well, that's a genre of anime.
That's what I meant. Now you're insulting my anime intelligence again. Do I have to prove it to you? I know what I'm talking about.
uh, Favorite anime. It's kind of a hot take, kind of not. There's a lot of people that hate on it,
Yeah.
but my favorite anime is probably Bleach.
That is definitely a hot take. I mean, it's okay. It's good for the fan base that likes it, but it's just so cliche.
Yes, but there's a reason why it is in the big three.
Because it's number 4.
It's not.
I know. That was a joke, because obviously there can only be 3 in the big 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Bleach, Dragon Ball, and One Piece in the big three.
Yeah. Now Dragon Ball, that's a good anime there.
Yeah.
The old school original Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z is good, except power levels kind of ruin it all. But
I have not made it all
Dragon
the way
Ball's
through Dragon Ball Z. I have watched all of Dragon Ball.
yeah, no, I like Dragon Ball. Me and my son watch a lot of it together.
Yeah.
We still do Goku and Gohan fighting sometimes.
But that's in Dragon Ball Z.
That is. You are correct. Yes. It's still Dragon Ball. It's still Dragon Ball.
True.
Dragon Ball is the better of Dragon Ball, of like the whole Dragon Ball universe. The original Dragon Ball, 88 through what, 93 or 97? Something like that.
Which arc is that?
That is
which arc it
prime Dragon Ball. I haven't seen any of the new shit, Super and GT and all that. Dragon Ball Z was good, but Dragon Ball was where it was at. Once the power levels get introduced, I'm not a big fan of the power level system.
Yeah.
Because you're stronger, so you're gonna win, and it takes technique and everything out of it. And every now and then, you just want to see an underdog win.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa style.
Which they do in the original Dragon Ball.
Yes, they do. Unless you're Goku and
Yamcha.
Master Yoshi.
No, unless you're Yamcha. Yamcha.
But I mean, anime's great, but anime's not really my forte.
Then what would be?
I don't know. What do you mean? Like
Well,
movie style? TV?
yeah, movie, TV.
Well, I do like Lord of the Rings.
Ooh, I do too.
Best trilogy ever made.
Yes.
Even better
That.
than the Star Wars.
Hmm.
There's no about it. There's no about it.
I will have to say that Tolkien is the reason why I love elves.
He should be nominated for Godhood.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, the sheer fact that not only did he create this whole world, this whole universe, but he created all the languages too.
He did. He was a master linguist.
Yes. Yeah.
Writing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear, and this has been a long time ago, I did not know this until maybe the last 6-8 months or something, that after he wrote the book, so this is before the movies, which, was he alive for the movies? I don't think he was alive for the movies.
I don't think he was. At least not the live action.
But there was a family from eastern United States, I think New York, but don't quote me on that. And there was one of the kids was named Samwise Gamgee.
Really?
And their parents wrote him, or maybe it was him that wrote him, and told him his name, and told him how much they loved Samwise. And he offered to change Samwise's name because he didn't want to steal someone's likeness, and nice stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they said, no, we love the character, we just thought it was funny. And he sent them a signed first edition Lord of the Rings book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was first edition, but yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you can't do that anymore. Now it's just like, I'm going to sue you and take you for all your worth, blah, blah, blah. No, they were fans.
Yeah.
If I'm right, if I remember what I read was right, I'm pretty sure. It's just pretty cool. It's pretty cool that there is a real life Samwise Gamgee.
That is really cool.
Who happens to be my favorite Hobbit.
Sam is, in my opinion, very underrated. He is an amazing character.
He is an amazing character. He is a moral compass. The whole movie.
Yes.
Whole movie. If it wasn't for Sam, Frodo never would have made it. It is because of Sam.
Oh, he definitely would not have.
Sam deserves his own movie where he is the hero. And Frodo is there to help him. And Frodo would probably, unfortunately, fail him. Because Sam is just that powerful of a character.
Yeah. There's a couple lines from Sam that I really, really like. When he tells Frodo, when Frodo is about to leave the entire party on his own, in the very beginning, he tells Frodo, he says, Gandalf told me, don't you leave him, Samwise. And he looks at Frodo and he says, and I don't mean to. Like, just that devotion to a friend was really powerful for me. And then the other line that he has, they are near Mount Doom, and he tells Frodo, he says, I might not be able to carry this for you, but I can carry you.
That was amazing, and he meant it.
Yeah, he did, and he did do it.
Everyone needs a friend like Samwise Gamgee.
I agree.
The world would probably be in a better place.
Yes.
I may not be able to carry that ring, but I can carry you.
Mm-hmm.
That is very powerful. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, if you had to pick, all in all, your favorite character, and you better not pick mine.
No.
I don't know if you will or not. But...
My favorite character, as much as I love the elves, my favorite character is not an elf.
Okay, you're not gonna pick mine then. That's good.
Aragorn.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. And, well, I know he's not an elf, but is he? I mean,
physically, no.
No, but
he was raised by elves, so he
yeah,
understands the ways of the elves. But
I
he
have a
is not
D&D character
himself.
that is modeled after Aragorn because he's not an elf, but he's married to an elf, and he was raised by elves. Aragorn is an amazing character, so I will never talk bad about Aragorn.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorites, but he is not my favorite.
And your favorite
Mine
is?
happens to be an elf who killed more than the dwarf. Just saying.
He did, and
anymore?
It did count as more than one.
It did count as more than one. That was a damn elephant.
It was, and there were
with a whole bunch of orcs on his back.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will say, if we're gonna go for elves, my favorite elf is, well, it has more to do with Rings of Power, Galadriel.
So I never made it through the books. I made it through the first book about halfway through, and I'm not a good reader. It is what it is. So Galadriel, she was always hard for me to understand because most of mine comes from fanfic and then obviously the movies. And it was always hard for me to understand whether she was good or bad. And I think there's a mix of both there. I think the ring to some point is corrupting her.
Yes.
But Rings of Power, yes, she is an amazing character, and I cannot wait for the next season.
Yes.
Chomping at the bit. That is the show that I'm looking forward to most. There's a close number 2, but that is the show I am mostly waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will we watch it together?
Oh, well, of course, because my wife ain't gonna watch it with me. And it's so fun spending time with, for one, people that you enjoy being around, and watching something you enjoy watching. And I'll tell you what, we watched all of season 2 together, right?
Yes.
Or most of it.
All of it.
And you watch TV shows the way I want to watch TV shows. You don't freaking talk, and you just listen. And then when nothing's going on, you might talk about, or especially at the end of an episode, you're going to talk about what happened, and then radio silence. Next show's on. And personally, I have a lot of respect for that. You're the same. My wife's the same way, except it's a lot of this. For those that can't see, playing on your phone, and that really irks me. It just irks me.
Nah, especially if it's a show that I'm really into. It's got my full attention.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It is.
I remember watching, because I think we watched all of season 2 and half of season 1, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't think I finished season 1 when I started watching it with you. Actually, no. It was part of season 1 because I was ahead of you when we started watching it.
Yes.
And eventually we caught up to where I was at. But I was kind of iffy about it at first, and sometimes they don't do movies justice. And there's actually a lot of posts about that it's garbage and blah 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 blah. I don't think those people are correct. I think it is magnificent.
I agree.
And loyal.
Yeah. I did like seeing the elves and the dwarves working together.
Yeah.
Because that's something that in the original Lord of the Rings you didn't see. They had not necessarily animosity towards each other, but they weren't friendly towards each other.
Well, they feel like each other screwed them over.
Yeah.
And the Rings of Power was before that really started, or at the beginning of it, rather. It was the beginning of it.
Yeah, but I thought that was really cool. I did like that aspect.
It's a great show,
Mhm.
and I recommend it to anybody who wants to watch it.
I do too.
Hell, I'll watch it
Especially
with
if
you. Hit
you're.
me up. I got ways to stream it. It is a good show, and it's one of the better TV shows that's really come out based on a movie. I mean, there's some other ones that have done a good job, but it's great. Another great TV show that I am definitely waiting on, and I know someone else is, you included, but someone's probably more chomping at the bit because it's actually written in their calendar. I just found that out last night. Vox Machina.
Oh.
That's supposed to come out in October, I believe.
I believe so.
And I have a certain young child. Well, she's not young, but a younger child that is chomping at the bit for it.
Yeah.
So much so that she reminded me that it's coming out. And she gave me the day it's supposed to come out.
Yeah.
I said, how do you know that? Well, it's written in my calendar. She knows how to use calendars better than I do. But yeah, see, the fall time there's some really good shows that come out. Well, those two, and another really good show. And this is my forte. I don't do anime. I like TV. I like TV shows. I prefer TV shows over movies. In reality, a good trilogy, but I prefer the TV show. There's more drama, and I really like the character development. There's like D&D.
Yeah, there's more opportunity for it because there's more time because you have.
There's also more time for it to spiral down.
Yes.
A great, unfortunate, not Lord of the Rings, Walking Dead. Have you ever seen a Walking Dead?
I watched. So I started watching it when it first came out, and I think I ended up getting through like 2 or 3 seasons. Like right before they got to
the prison.
No. Well, they were at the prison. It was, I think, the episode that they met Negan, the guy with the bat.
Yeah.
That was where I stopped watching.
So that's still when it was good. A lot of the prison wasn't that good, but then it ramped up with Negan, and then it kind of fell off again. But about that time is where Walking Dead really was going up and down between being really good and not good. The whole thing with Carl. I mean, there's damn memes about it. There's an Ark YouTuber that I watch that names all of his Carnosaurs Carl. And literally, it's Carl with like a whole bunch of R's. Carl! A shot at Walking Dead. But unfortunately, when you have long-running TV shows, they tend to spiral like that. And that's what makes Lord of the Rings so good, in my opinion. Why it could be a long-running show without the same problems. Because they have the history to go off of. And it's not going to be up and down, good and bad. It's going to be, it's really good or it's canceled. Because your followers of Lord of the Rings, that's your whole viewership right there. I mean, you might bring in some new people, but we're like a cult.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty close.
Yep.
About like them Star Wars nerds.
I don't know. So I don't know if I ever told you this, but I started watching Rings of Power and then I stopped.
You didn't like it?
Well,
that's why I stopped.
It wasn't necessarily that I didn't like it. It was a friend.
Oh my God.
Of mine that you know.
Yeah, I know where it's going.
Yeah. She said that she didn't like the show, and so I just kind of stopped watching.
Well, I'm glad I could be that friend that got you back into it.
I am too.
It's a good show, and Whether you know anything about Lord of the Rings or not, watch it.
Yes.
Killer Panda, watch it. I mean, it's so instrumental, and there are so many people there, just from that show, from the movies. There's so many people to model yourselves after.
True.
And just really to guide you, and more than just life, almost, and just someone to idolize. And the amount of sacrifice some of these characters give is powerful. Legolas, Aragorn, even what's his name? I always forget his name, but he's the sword and shield that takes like 8 arrows to the chest.
Boromir.
He goes after the ring, huh?
Boromir.
Even him, Boromir.
Yeah.
He goes from good to bad, good to bad, good to bad, and ended it a freaking hero.
He did. I mean, you were never sure if he wanted the ring for himself or if he was.
Oh, he wanted it for himself.
Yes, but there were times when you could have thought that yes, he was really trying to help them destroy it instead of trying to.
Oh, yeah, when he wasn't going for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's when he got too close to it, or when he was alone with Frodo. And it's not so much that he was a bad dude. It's well, I mean, it's not called the Ring of Power for nothing.
Right.
I don't think it's so much he wanted it. This headcanon, hot take, he didn't want the ring. The ring wanted him.
Well, and there is some truth in that. There is some canon stuff that goes along with that, because in Middle Earth, in Tolkien's world, humans are a weak race mentally.
Yes.
So
except for Aragorn.
Yes. But there's always exceptions.
Mainly because he's like pretty much elf without being an elf.
Pretty much. But being mentally weak, you are very susceptible to that ring because of the immense power that is in that and how strong the will of the ring is. I mean, you saw it when they talk about Aragorn's ancestor when he
off?
Huh?
You want to piss some people off?
Sure.
Yeah.
How do we do
Sorry,
that?
I know I cut you off, but I have to get this out.
Okay.
It's going to be your first like big hot take right here, I think. You know who The Witcher is?
As in like the video games and the TV show?
Yeah, good TV show, by the way.
It is. Although I don't know if I'll watch it if Henry Cavill isn't The Witcher anymore.
Oh, I don't know who that is, and I don't care.
The one who has been The Witcher.
I don't care. That's not where this is going.
Okay. Sorry.
The Witcher is literally rebranded, reskinned Aragorn.
I mean, I guess 100%. I can kind of see that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously different hairdo, and instead of loving an elf, he loves a sorcerer, which was common in the elves.
True.
Although she was not necessarily always good, and I'm pretty sure betrayed him a couple times. But yeah, I'm not trying to find pick here.
No,
just the personality, the combat style, the who he is.
Yeah, that's true.
Aragorn.
Honor bound.
Yeah, and Aragorn, he was a ranger.
Yes.
And they didn't have the best name. So,
Yeah.
Going to the ranger.
So, one of our friends actually thought that I based Yaslana off of Yennefer from The Witcher.
I never thought that.
I didn't either, but
I mean, I never know who she was based off of, but I've never once thought that.
She wasn't based off of anyone, really.
I didn't think
but
so.
I can see it.
Witcher is a good TV show if you've never seen it.
It is.
Oh yeah, you said something about an actor, and the character transcends the actor. Okay.
Sometimes.
No. It's all about the character. All about the character. We'll see. I have to watch it. I fell out of it, but it is pretty good. I never played the game, so I don't really have anything to compare it to.
I didn't either.
Not a big fan of games that force you into playing a character. I like to create my own, RPG style. Obviously, probably one of the best ever made, Fallout. Great game, great series of games, all of them, love them. Pretty much just go out there and do it. Fun games. New Vegas is one of the best, actually. So Yennefer, she's on and off, good guy, bad guy with The Witcher, who, in my opinion, is modeled after Aragorn.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't agree with me on that, but I think my theory holds lots of water. But there's a better theory. What if these aren't movies, TV shows, video games?
What do you mean?
What if they're real? Like Middle Earth. What does Middle Earth mean? I mean think about it.
Literally, it's the middle of the earth.
Okay, exactly. You are correct. Mm-hmm. So think about how this map is so detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because he was there.
How did he get there?
How do you get anywhere?
But he was a linguist. He wasn't like an adventurer.
Okay. And what's his name? Neil Armstrong. Yeah, Neil Armstrong wasn't an alien, but he stepped on a different rock.
True.
I mean, stuff happens, do you believe in fact, I know you believe in some of this stuff, but you believe in different things reaching out to you, right?
Yeah.
What if something reached out to you and was powerful enough to pull you somewhere? Is that possible? Like physically move your dimension?
I suppose it could be.
So could that have happened to Tolkien?
It's possible.
Maybe go ahead.
I mean, if there are entities out there that are strong enough to pull us into a different dimension, then it's highly plausible that there are people, writers, that could possibly have been pulled into another world or a different realm even.
And that's
where they got their ideas. And that's where they got their ideas.
They're fact.
Well, yes.
At that point.
Exactly. They're writing about what they saw.
But maybe it doesn't have to be a different realm. So, history. As humans, we know our history pretty well, right?
Or at least some of us do.
We think we do. But who writes that history?
Other people.
The winner. So who's saying there wasn't a warrior named Aragorn who helped hobbits get to Mount Doom to destroy a ring, and that's all actually happened? That would fly in the face of most religions.
Yeah.
Because now you have different gods. You have this all-powerful evil god. You have crap. What is Gandalf? He is a god.
Yeah.
He's a lower god, but he's still a god.
Mm-hmm.
But that would fly in the face of every religion, not just Christianity, Muslim, and it would fly in the face of every religion.
Yeah.
Because in most religions, the gods never really helped the people out on that level. I mean, they did, but not on that level.
No.
Right?
And not without wanting something in return.
Gandalf never wanted anything.
Exactly.
In fact, he helped just to help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he sat at the end of a rock for like a half a day trying to figure out a password.
True.
And he did right before they all died by a kraken. It wasn't a kraken, but never really got a good look at it. But what if all this actually happened and it's just suppressed? Because magic doesn't exist.
Really?
Like, okay, without your gods, can you perform magic?
Most people can't. No.
Can anybody?
There's some people who would say that they can.
Can they summon a fireball?
No. Not that kind of
magic. Well, maybe it's
magic.
a lost art.
That could be.
Maybe we all have a little bit of magic inside of us, and it's been taken from us from history. Because if we don't know about it, then how could we ever access it? This isn't the movie I just watched about a kid finding out he's magic.
Mm. Although there could be an argument for the fact that, yes, we were all once magical beings, and we lost that magic. But some people still have remnants of it. Empaths.
Well, what?
Empaths.
I don't know what an empath is.
Somebody who is an empath is a person who can feel other people's emotions.
But is that really a magical ability?
You could argue that it is, because the person doesn't have to speak. They don't have. You can just tell by walking into the room. I am an empath. I can walk into my parents' house and immediately, without looking at anybody or seeing what's going on, I can tell if my mom is in a bad mood, because I can feel it. Okay. I can feel her anger. I can feel her sorrow.
But is that just because you're so well connected with her?
There could be an argument for that, but I can do that other places too.
A gas station?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean that really like I'm questioning you. I just mean that really like.
Yeah.
Really.
I can walk into any place, really. Like gas station is probably one of the easier ones because it's a smaller place and you can pinpoint exactly where it's coming from, because there's usually 1-2 people that are working there.
But what about the guests? The patrons.
It gets a little harder the more people that are in a room, especially if you're not familiar with them, because you get bombarded with emotions. One thing that you have to learn how to do when you are an empath is you have to learn how to shield yourself from taking on those emotions yourself to where it physically affects you. Physically. So, my roommate and I had one of his friends stay with us because she was in a bad spot with her mom. She needed a place to stay. The first day when she was there, everything was fine. But then every day after that, I was feeling her anxiety, her depression, and I was taking it on as my own. So the minute I walked into the house, I couldn't eat. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to just sit in my room. But the minute I went to work, got in my car, went to work, I was fine. I was eating at work. But when I got home, I couldn't. I physically could not eat because I wasn't shielding myself against her emotions.
So how do you shield yourself against those emotions?
It's more mental than anything. You have to be aware of what your emotions are. And if you start feeling something else, you have to kind of think about it and say, is there a reason why I would be feeling this way? And if there's not, most likely you're taking on someone else's emotions.
And so you equate that to a magical ability. If that's a magical ability, then people that can, I don't like the wording I'm about to use, but people that are more attuned to feeling presence around them, is that a magical ability?
I would think so.
So is it their ability that is manifesting those entities or whatever around them, or just being able to feel them?
I think it's a little bit of being able to feel them, but I also think that entities are drawn to that kind of power, that they can sense it. They know that, hey, this person can feel me, can see me. I'm going to go to them.
So they want to be seen.
Sometimes they do, whether it's because they want help, or they just want someone to torture. Because think about it, as a kid, if kids that are bullies, they will stop bullying someone who doesn't respond because it's not fun. Same thing with an entity. If you know that someone doesn't know that you're there, why would they bother? But if they know that you can see them, you can sense them, they're gonna go to you.
So, with that being said, there are like a lot of these haunted, which I think a lot of them aren't real personally. Some are, but these people that have nothing to do with ghosts or demons or whatever, and they move into a house, and all of a sudden they're just engulfed by it.
Mm-hmm.
So, did they have that magic ability all the time, or did they just gain it when they moved in that house?
I think they probably had it. They were just either so the fact that they didn't think that that was possible either means they were in denial about it, or they had no clue that they had that ability because it never presented itself.
So, to understand you have that ability, you have to be in close enough proximity to something else.
Matter of
Maybe.
speaking. I mean, think about it this way. If you think that you can't draw, but you only think that because you've never done it before, the minute you pick up a piece of paper and a pencil and you start drawing and you're amazing at it, did you not have that ability before just because you never did it? Or did you have the ability but you didn't realize that you did because you'd never tried it?
That's a good point, actually. That's a very good point, and I don't have anything to come back with that, because obviously you always had the ability, just I guess never the maybe effort. That's probably not the right word, but it's a good word, I think. Words are not my strong suit. Even worse than names.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You are
Oh yeah. Something special.
Hmm.
Kind of a linguist in my own right.
That's one way to
Getting
put
it
it.
wrong.
That's one way to put it.
I've made a few words in my day. Some still stick with me.
Brooding?
That is the chief among them.
And
But I mean, no, go ahead.
and if I do remember correctly, we do have a few friends who create character names just because they know you can't pronounce them.
Yeah. In fact, I ran one shot one time where I had two people in the game. Both named their character Dyslexia. But not spelled the same, but literally, if you sounded it out, it said dyslexia. And for the life of me, I never thought that's what it said. I called them by their names. I had no idea what to say, and I wasn't butchering their name, even though it was all to make fun of me. Great times. Great times. Yes, I suck with names. Speaking, believe it or not, speaking has never been my strong suit. In language arts, I'm actually pretty bad.
Speaking is not your strong suit, and yet you are a DM.
I talk a lot.
Two different campaigns.
Yeah, I talk a lot. And in those word vomits, sometimes some good stuff comes out.
Sometimes? I don't know. You have.
I take my victories where I get them.
No.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that your two campaigns in your world are.
You can't call it my world.
Why?
I'm the DM, so I get what I want. I have another nickname. Would we like to talk about that?
You have another nickname.
I do.
What is your other nickname?
I'm not talking about it, but you're more than welcome to.
That nickname.
Yeah, maybe we should save that for a future day. And, well, I don't know about you, but we have probably been recording for an hour and a half at this point, maybe 2 hours. And we have not talked about anything we wanted to.
True.
I don't know if that's my fault or your fault or it's probably neither's. It's probably the dog's fault.
I was gonna say it was a collaborative effort, but okay.
No, yeah. See, I have a hard time blaming me or you, and it's just so much better to blame a dog that won't defend themselves.
Fair.
Yeah. So let's just blame the dog.
Okay. Which dog?
I didn't go that far with it.
Ah, okay.
We can blame your dog. We ain't blaming my fat dog. I love my fat dog.
I don't have a dog. I have
No.
my parents' dog or my roommate's dog. We can blame either one of them.
Both of them.
Okay.
So because of the dogs, we got way off topic. And while it was fairly good, I
It
think,
was. I agree.
maybe talking about what we originally agreed to talk about would be beneficial.
Okay.
Because we have some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. If today even exists, that is.
Well, it does exist.
It could be a false memory.
Well, it could be, but it's after Thursday.
See, that's just the name of the theory. You don't actually know when Thursday was. I mean, who decided Thursday was Thursday? I mean, hell, today could be Thursday.
Well,
I mean, who arbitrarily picked Thursday to be, what, 2 days ago?
yeah, who picked anything to be called anything?
Exactly. I mean, when you start thinking about words, just think about it.
Mhm.
Dog. Just say it like 5 times, dog.
Dog. Dog.
Who the hell comes up to the word dog?
I don't know.
I mean, who looks at an animal? Don't even get me started on animals. Like, that's an animal. Why? I mean, why can't that be a picture and a picture be called an animal? I mean, why can't I look at the picture and that's an animal?
It could be a picture.
They're arbitrary. All words are arbitrary. And mathematics, even worse. We discovered the number 0. What?
How?
How did we I don't know.
It's literally
there were so many math
a
equations
number
that wouldn't
about
work without the
nothing.
number 0.
What? It's a number about nothing. 0
but it's
is
about
nothing.
Everything. 0. Did you know there are more numbers between 0 and 1 than there are infinite numbers?
How?
Why not?
Well, wouldn't it be the same?
See, that's the thing. You have infinite numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, so on to infinity, right?
Uh-huh.
But are you counting the non-whole numbers? There's infinite numbers between every single whole number.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
When I first heard that, it was kind of mind-boggling.
It is.
I mean, think about how many zeros go before the first actual non-zero. 0 point, blah, 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 however far you want to go back in 1. That's still a number. Keep going. I mean, you can go thousands, millions, billions of zeros. And you're going to run out of numbers to count. I mean, go back a billion zeros, and then a billion zeros in 2, and then a billion zeros in 3. And what number are you at before you even get to 2? Like the number 2. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but why is infinite even a thing? I mean, who decides that infinity is even a thing? I mean,
you mean like
when I was in school, I learned about the Googleplex. That was the biggest number.
Yeah. But
now it's just a website without the plex.
Yeah.
What was that? A Googleplex was 1 with 100 zeros behind it or something?
Was it 100? I thought it was more than that.
I don't know. A lot of zeros. How about that?
It is a lot of zeros.
But who decides these things? Like, is math real?
I wouldn't complain if it wasn't.
I mean, did we just determine that, okay, so 2 plus 2 equals 4. Why? Because it fits the universe. Says who? Says the people who don't understand the universe. I mean, we all know the universe is only like 3 days old.
3 days?
No, 2 days.
2? What?
It's created on Thursday. We all know that.
Oh, okay. Yes, sure.
But why did everyone decide that 2 plus 2 equals 4?
Well,
why does 4 have to follow 3? It's all a construct made up. to keep us under the thumb of the man.
And who's the man?
I don't know. I wasn't programmed with that information.
Oh, so we're all a simulation now. A computer
Oh,
program.
more than likely. Like, literally, the more advanced we get, the more likely we are in simulation.
Well,
If
yeah,
you agree with math,
I
then
don't.
then the math says the math says the closer we get to creating simulations, the more than likely we are a simulation.
But how can a simulation create a simulation?
I don't know. How could someone create the Mona Lisa?
Yeah, but that's like saying, okay, so
It's like saying what?
so saying a simulation can create a simulation is like saying that a painting can draw a picture.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You ever played The Sims? In The Sims, do the Sims play a video game?
Yeah.
Do they watch TV?
Mm-hmm.
Did we create The Sims?
Yes.
Do the Sims create a simulation of their own?
Technically, no, because we created The Sims, so we created.
What are they playing on that game?
Something that we created.
Are you sure?
Technically, yes, because we created the program of The Sims.
But do we control the program?
To an extent.
To an extent. So you know how to control that program.
Me, no. I am not that computer savvy.
Oh yeah. So who knows how to control that program? Without Googling it, the answer is you don't know.
It'd be the creator of The Sims.
Who is that?
Fuck if I know.
So as far as you know, that person doesn't even exist. They might not be loaded into your world right now.
Definitely not.
So if they're not loaded into your world, you are a loaded version of a game, just like The Sims.
Making my brain hurt.
Okay, let's bring this down to a level you understand. Minecraft.
Okay.
You play Minecraft?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Maybe not a lot, but you do.
I have, yeah.
What happens to Steve when you're not online?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe Toy Story had it right.
Do you know how often, like, after I watched that movie, that I wish that was true? That my toys came alive the minute that I left the room.
Maybe it is true. I mean, literally, who's saying it's not true? I mean, they did a pretty good job putting themselves back in their spot they were in, because they don't want you to know that they are a simulation.
Yeah.
So maybe, just maybe, the reason why we need sleep is because every time when we go to sleep and we wake up, that's when they're booting in the simulation. And maybe
it could be an update.
Oh, see, now you're picking up what I'm putting down. Could be. It very well could be. But not very many things update when you turn them off. But they do update when you put them in sleep mode.
Exactly.
Is that a coincidence?
Probably not.
So maybe Aragorn was real. Maybe Gerald was real. Legolas, Frodo, maybe we created them. We did. I mean, we did create them. That's not us, but the humans. But maybe we created them because our creators wanted to see what we could create. So maybe we're creating entertainment for their entertainment, for our entertainment, for their entertainment. And the even crazier thing about it is the people who created our simulation are probably a simulation themselves. How many numbers are between 0 and 1?
No idea.
A lot. Infinite. The simulation never ends. I mean, eventually it ends somewhere. Somewhere. The Matrix, documentary, Terminator. The further we get, more and more likely a documentary.
True. So, then, if this is a simulation,
probably is, but yeah.
What is death then? Like,
ooh, that makes a good point. Catalin, do you die?
I mean, everybody dies. Everything
When did
dies.
the world start?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Exactly. See, this is where it all kind of becomes very dark and not very nice.
Okay.
And it's hard to grasp. But I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
I and the whole world. Without me, there is no one else. No one else exists without me.
Hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm infinite years old.
Okay. So,
What happened before I was born? Nothing. It was not even darkness. Just didn't even happen. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
yeah. But here's a question. So,
Okay.
we're in a simulation. Basically a game,
Probably.
right? Like a
Probably.
game. So, what happens in a game when you die?
You respawn.
Okay. So, is that it does that mean that the pagans have it right?
Oh, we have transcended religion here.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
A lot of pagans believe in, well, and not just pagans, but other religions believe in reincarnation.
Sure.
So, if the world is a simulation, aka a game, when we die, we respawn, aka reincarnation,
Yeah.
right? So then that means that those religions that believe in reincarnation
Yeah.
have it right.
Yes and no.
Why no?
Because, okay, this is going to be anti-religion. And, I don't tend to do that, but I'm going to in this case.
Okay.
Because you, as in pagans, not you, but as in pagans, you believe that you are being reincarnated by a god. I believe, well, no, I don't know if I actually believe this, but I believe you're respawning. So basically, you're respawning back to when you were a baby. You're not being reincarnated to a different being, like a butterfly or whatever. You are starting over, a respawn from your last save. Think about it, Catalan. Think about it.
As the same person, not as somebody different.
Yeah, that's the same person. You were an 80s baby, right?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
You grew up in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
In your time, should you have probably died?
Probably.
But you didn't, because you're invincible. Because the whole world evolves around you. Everyone else is just a game in your world. An NPC. Actually, there's a real easy way to answer this, actually. Do you have an internal monologue?
Yes.
You're one of the rare ones. So maybe you're not an NPC. Maybe you are actually a real player in the game.
What about you? Do you have an internal?
Oh, yes. 100%. Have you met me?
Yes.
Of course I have a internal monologue. I could barely walk down the road without telling myself to right, left. And it's not even in cadence either.
That was where I was going to go with that. I was going to say that's just
have you ever entered a room and in your head an intro music plays?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
My mom always used to tell me that I've constantly got music playing in my brain. Because
so you're a main character. In the world of our simulation, you're the main character. One of the main characters. I know people who do not have that internal monologue.
That's weird.
It is weird. It is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is why I constantly have to listen to music.
Most people who are married, at least every single person I've ever talked to that's been married, their spouse, no internal monologue.
That's not where I thought you were going with that. Interesting.
I mean, I know that for a fact of my own marriage because I've asked. And I know that in fact from people I work with because I've asked. And some of the people I work with don't have an internal monologue, but their spouse does. Now, I'm not saying that's scientifically proven. I don't know that many people. And it's not a blind study. or a double-blind study, or whatever the scientific term is in our simulation of that. But maybe we're not a simulation. You know, it's possible we're not. It's actually, in this day and age, it's more possible than not that we're not a simulation. It's like a 0.01% that we're a simulation. But there still is a chance.
You're not going to say it.
Say what?
Oh my God, really?
The probability is not zero. The probability is not zero that we are a simulation. The probability is not zero that we are the only actual real person. One of us. I mean, I know I have a daughter with me that I know is real right now, but if she walks upstairs, how do I know she doesn't blip out of existence? It's dark. It's dark. Like right now, I can't see her. How do I know she exists right now? How do I know on the other side of that chimney right there, there's actually walls? I can't prove it without looking.
Or going over there.
Well, that's looking.
Okay.
I appreciate you arguing with me. Or on my side, rather. But it is very possible that, none of this is real. None of us are real. Well, one person is. Probably me. And the really bad thing about me being real is some of the people that I know. Why the hell would I create them? Like, think about your coworkers right now. What are they doing right now?
I don't know.
Maybe they're rebooting. And maybe the only reason you're not rebooting right now is because you're talking to me. Or vice versa.
So, if that's true, if this is all a simulation, when we space out, is that a reboot? Is that an update?
Oh, I never thought about that, actually. That's a good thought. I don't know. I'd have to actually think about that.
And what does it mean? Because I do that a lot. Does that mean there's something wrong with my programming? Because I have to reboot and or update a lot?
Well, maybe it's because, see, I'm part of the master race, WASD, mouse. Maybe it's, they have to, the W's not working all the way, so they got to shut it all down and clean their W out. You know what I mean? Not necessarily the W, but I know plenty of people out there got problems with sticky keys. Luckily, I'm not one of them. My keys are fucking immaculate. But maybe, I don't know. I'm not part of up there. I'm not part of beyond our simulation, beyond our world. I'm not part of that. So I don't know what's going on up there. I just know that it's possible there's some teenager living in his mom's basement playing The Sims right now, and we are the freaking Sims. It is possible.
Yeah, anything's possible.
But do they have gods? Are they the same gods that we have? You would think they would be.
But not necessarily.
Well, look at D&D, for instance, right? We play D&D, or any video game for that matter, where they make up these gods. They all represent gods that, as humans, we are familiar with. Maybe not the same name, but still familiar with.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard inventing something that, dreaming, perfect example. You cannot dream about a person that you have never seen. Every dream, every time you've seen a person in your dream, you have seen that person. You cannot create a face in your dreams. It could be scary.
No,
I've had some pretty wicked dreams.
It's definitely true, because I've had dreams about people that I know, and it's them. I see them.
Yeah.
But then there'll be people in the dream that I don't know who they are, and they don't have a face.
That's fine. Oh, okay. Yes. 100%. But what I'm saying is, you could walk into a gas station and see the guy checking out at the counter. Never seen him before, never seen him since. But now, one of those people that don't have a face have a face and have his face.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know him.
Yes.
Don't know his name, nothing about him, but you've seen the face. You cannot make up a face in your dreams without seeing it. That is a program. Has to be.
Can't argue with that.
Simulation. And if singulism theory is true, oh, we're definitely a simulation. It's just one person's the main character. And there's always a main character. In every single video game, there's a main character.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is just there. Or party members. So maybe me and you are party members. One of us is the main character. No offense. I think it's me. But you can think it's you all you want. I'm not going to argue that.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. Main character syndrome. I got you. I'm just saying again, the probability is not zero. You got to think about it.
Yeah.
It hurts. And the big problem with a lot of this and thinking about this stuff is it provides less meaning to life, especially people you've idolized over your life, because now they are nothing in this theory, right? And well, as people, we don't want to believe that. We all have people we idol. We all have people we model ourselves after. And none of us want to think they're nothing. I mean, I'm sure you have someone that you model yourself after.
Sure.
That is iconic in your life.
Yeah. She was my 11th grade creative writing teacher.
Creative writing?
Yes.
Suits you very well.
She was the one that made me realize how much I do love writing. And for those 2 years in high school, my 11th and 12th grade years, I wanted to be a writer because of her.
Why not now?
Still a possibility.
I mean, I've seen some of your writing. It's very good.
Well, thank you. I'm just a little disheartened because one of my favorite things that I wrote, I've lost. It's a story, but I've decided that I'm just going to start over. She's going to have a new story now.
So, you believe you've lost it?
The physical copies, yes, I have lost.
Or were you given the gift of redoing it?
That is how I'm thinking about it now. That I've been given the opportunity. Yes. I've been given the opportunity to completely overhaul her story. And I'm going to hit the ground running with that. Because she is in Evermore. And that's where her story is going to be now.
It doesn't have to be her backstory, though.
No. But her backstory will evolve with what happens in Evermore. Just like in D&D.
Or could what happens in Evermore evolve with her backstory?
That could happen too. What about you?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Me? Oh.
Who is the influential person in your life?
It's not near as elegant. My grandmother. She raised me for most of my life, and at least my young life, till I was about 12. And she was a big part of my life until I was about 14, and still is. Can't talk to her much anymore. That's because it hurts, But she was the best thing that ever happened to me, by far. And my kids are blessed enough to know who she is.
So, what is one story from when you were younger about your grandmother that influenced you so much?
Maybe it's not my grandmother. I was not prepared to talk about it like this. Or think about it, rather. It was my grandfather. Her husband, when I lived with them, they got divorced after I left. But I moved in with my grandmother and grandfather at a very young age. 9, 8, 10, somewhere in there. And I was kind of forced to do it, to move in with them by the law. And I didn't know them. And I naturally gravitated towards my grandmother because she was female. And I wasn't scared of women. Not, macho man bullshit, just I wasn't scared of them. My grandfather, I was terrified of. And my grandma would use that to her advantage at times when I would act up and, oh, just wait till your grandfather gets home. Well, I remember one time I got home and, or he got home and I was being an absolute hellion. And he just tore me a new one. Didn't care. Did not care. I was terrified. Didn't care. Whooped the shit out of me. I deserved it. Like it wasn't. I deserved it. I don't remember what I was doing, but I know me as a kid and my grandma never deserved it. Like never deserved. And this was like a Friday, so she probably took me out to McDonald's or to Blockbuster, or ordered pizza. We used to either go to McDonald's or I could go to Blockbuster. It was either or. So it was either McDonald's or Blockbuster and Tombstone Pizza. That was my Fridays. And my grandpa, he would come home from work Friday, and he was a truck driver, local. But I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was driving my grandma up a wall. He came home. My grandma told him, I got what I deserved. The next day is what sticks with me more than any of that. He woke me up 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, which back then was unruly, Who wants a 10, 11-year-old kid, who wants to be woke up at that early in the morning,
Nobody.
Took me fishing and explained to me that that's not what he wants to do. He doesn't want to be the guy that comes home to whoop me. He doesn't want to be the enforcer. He wants to be a grandpa and explained to me that he loves me, which at that point was something I never heard a lot of, other than my grandma. Not from him. I mean, I was still young, but still, not from him. It wasn't really his style. And then, and then he caught a fish. No, I caught a fish. I caught a fish. And I was scared to take it off the hook. So he took it off the hook for me and told me to take your thumb, put it inside his mouth, and you can hold it just like that. So I go to reach my thumb inside this fish's mouth, and he throws the fish at me. Absolute scares the shit out of me. I always thought my grandmother was the most influential person in my life, but it was my grandfather. I punish my kids to this day, and the next day or a little bit after, I talk with them and tell them why I don't want to do it, and tell them, this is how we stop me from doing this, and it's because of him. I guess we all learn something every now and then.
True.
I wish he could see me for what I am now.
Why is that?
I don't believe in owing people money. I still owe that man $100, and there's nothing I can do about it. Not a damn thing. Not that he'd want it back. You don't borrow money without paying it back. I mean, he also taught me you don't lend money without the expectation of ever getting it back, because you never get it back. It's not why you lend money to get it back. He's the only human being on this earth that I owe money to. Well, from this earth. My oldest is 14. He's been gone for about 12 years. That is the most influential person in my life.
I think you downplayed that as far as trying to say that your influential person wasn't as profound or as influential as mine.
Oh, I definitely agree now. When I first was thinking about it, I agree. Yeah. But it's also in the eye of the beholder.
True.
But I appreciate that, Catalin. It's something I've never thought about it, because I've always thought it was my grandmother. And there's nothing wrong with that
No.
at all. But when you ask me what's one memory, that's what got me. I have them, but every memory I go back to, my grandfather was involved. We used to live out on this road called Cynthiana Road, Big Cynthiana Road, right? And they lived on about 2 acres, and about an acre and a half was pretty flat. I mean, pretty flat. And then they had a big hill in the backyard that went way up, and then they had blackberries growing on both sides.
Hmm.
And I was a little daredevil. I was probably about 10, 11 years old. And, well, I liked riding bikes. I love riding bikes. This is my favorite thing to do. I took this bike to the top of the hill. And this was a steep hill. I mean, it was steep. And at the bottom of the hill was this ditch. So I took the bike to the top of the hill. Rode that bike all the way down this hill. And, I'm probably going 20 miles an hour. I don't know. I was a kid. I was going fast. And I hit this ditch. And, well, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just wanted to ramp. And, well, as I'm up in the air and I get some air, I become backwards, upside down. And I land on my back, and the bike right on top of me, handlebars on either side of my shoulders, which is why I think I'm invincible. I mean, if that bike was a little bit to the right or the left, it would have went into my stomach or whatever. It would have been bad, but it didn't. Right on top of me. And I remember this like it was yesterday. My grandpa comes all in ass as fast as he can. Now you got to think, at this time, he's probably in his late 40s. Not old by any means, but he's not a spring chicken either.
Yeah.
And I'm fine. I'm just like some 10-year-old kid. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. And I remember going inside and my grandma saying, "That was the fastest I've seen your grandpa run in years." That man was so worried about me. And it feels good just to have somebody worry about you like that,
Yeah, it does.
But again, that's a memory of my grandpa. Just the quote from my grandma. There's a garage that still stands on that property with my little kid handprint in the concrete. I have drove by it so many times and wanted to stop and ask the new owners, which is who knows how many times it's been bought and sold, just to see if I can't just take a picture of it. Or even if it's still the garage. Like the house is still yellow. I mean, who lives in a yellow house? Old people.
Yeah.
Oh, this was a good trip down memory lane.
It sounds like it was for you.
I felt like I stole this last part from you.
Nah.
I'm good at talking. I ain't good at it. I just do it a lot. And I really appreciate you navigating us to this point. It's been fun. But
yes, it has.
I think this is probably, for today, where the fun should end.
Probably.
We can't talk about everything before next episode anyways, right?
Very true. We have to have something to talk about.
Which I think there will be plenty of new stuff. And as I said, we didn't even really touch our topics today.
No, we didn't. But we did say that we go off on tangents a lot.
We did. For whoever's counting, we did too. Just so everybody knows, the D&D character and the influential person were the only two things we planned on talking about.
The only two that we actually talked about that were planned. We had 3 others.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, those are saved for a later day. Rain check on those.
And rest assured, we will get to them.
Probably, maybe not. If they're number 1.
Or number 2, perhaps.
It takes some hard steering to get to that number 2.
At least it did today.
It did. But we had some good conversation, and I enjoyed it.
I did too.
And I hope you appreciate my anime knowledge.
I do. However, I think I would like to help you increase your anime knowledge.
I don't need it. Everyone, whoever's listening, thank you for bearing with us for this long. I hope it's been fun.
It's definitely fun.
It's definitely fun. It most definitely is. At least the probability is not 0, so it's been a little more than fun than 0.
Probability is never 0.
No, it's not. It can't be. No. There's always there might be a billion zeros, but at least there's a 1 at the end of the line.
Yes.
The absolute 0, man. That's such a terrible thought. Such a terrible thought that I don't even think it can really actually happen. I mean, even absolute 0 in space. How many decimals are they going back? That might be a good thing to talk about later.
Maybe.
I think I could lead that talk.
I think you probably could. I definitely
With very little research. I got some crazy ideas.
More crazy than the ones we talked about today.
Oh, man, Catalin. We're touching the surface. I mean, the simulation theory gets pretty dark and pretty nasty pretty quick.
It can.
But, like I said, some of these theories might be real theories. Others just might be born in this main character mind of mine. This episode of Trigger Warning Everything was brought to you by Gremlin Industries, the original creator of the Sock Eater 3000, an attachment for your washer guaranteed to lose one sock each time. Thank you. We should see you next time on
Trigger Warning
Everything. Bye.
Bye.